Pádraic, can you tell us a little bit about where we are?
Yes, we're in Milltown Cemetery here in West Belfast, and this cemetery opened in 1869, and there are approximately 200,000 people buried here. And where we're standing here today is the new Republican plot, where there's 77 people who are buried in the plot, this particular one. Among them is Bobby Sands, Joe McDonald, Kieran Doherty, 3 of the 10 hunger strikers that died in Long Case in 1981. Then Maria Farrell, Dan McCann and Sean Savage, who were shot dead by the SAS in Gibraltar. And it was here that an attack by a loyalist attacked the funeral of the 3 volunteers killed in Gibraltar. And in the course of that attack, 3 people were shot dead, and numerous people were injured because of grenades and gunshot wounds. So Milltown itself, given where the location of where it is, there's a lot of people buried here, obviously, and it is becoming very popular for tourists, especially given the more recent history of Belfast. And
you were telling us a little while earlier about the stone that's used here in this memorial, where it came from.
Yes, in 2003, December 2003, when I was on the National Graves here in Belfast, which we were looking after the graves of Republicans, and it was decided to rebuild the plot here because the old plot was made of concrete and steel, and it was starting to go into disrepair, just simply through wear and tear.
Yeah. And
the stone itself came from either Sligo or Leitrim, an old house, and it's sandstone. And the house itself had been used by the IRA during the 1920s. Now the plot itself, we decided then to come up with an idea, not me myself, but somebody came up with an idea of the proclamation, this 1916 proclamation. And the proclamation itself, as most of us were taught in school, a lot of people can recite it without having to read it. But the sculptor himself, on the Thursday before this place was to be reopened and rededicated on a Sunday.
3 days beforehand or so?
3 days beforehand, he phoned me up and said that he'd made a mistake. Now we were hoping it was just a mistake, like a comma or a full stop missing, but it was a full line was missing. We said, look, you're going to have to do this again. And he was saying, look, I won't have the time to do this. And we says, well, you're going to have to do it because this is we're very important people. So what we see here is exactly the proclamation as a copy of it, and against the wall itself is the. So he turned
around and redid it on the other side.
Yes.
So it's in behind there as well.
Yeah, and it's so maybe in years to come somebody will take that down, maybe having to get cleaned and go.
Whoa.
So, and it's in my opinion, it's a work of art, you know what I mean?
Yes.
And the Easter really, put in there.
And you know what? It's a nice anecdote, really, because this is a very sombre place, and there's a lot of history, a lot of seriousness. But thanks for that. Thanks very much, Pádraic.